Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Jurassic World video. Today we're going to delve deep into a new Jurassic World series that's actually been going down very well with the fans. If you haven't heard about it, then not to worry, as today we're going over and teasing a little bit of season 1 of this fan-made series. I know, it's fan-made, so it's not entirely official. However, since Universal aren't bothering to capitalise on the best opportunity to announce that more stuff is on the way for Jurassic, of course the fans are going to take matters into their own hands and attempt to bring something to this franchise that we deserve to have. And this is exactly what Tom Jurassic has done for Tales of a Jurassic World. It's not exactly the best kept secret in the world that Universal have unfortunately failed to capitalise on this franchise with the absolute bare minimum in recent times. Just take one look at JP30, the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. A 30th anniversary is treated as a third of life, and is a major celebration milestone just like the 25th, 50th, 75th and so on. But it was sadly neglected as the only celebration that was made was simply reposting an old trailer from the early 90s? Yeah, that's quite literally all there was. Despite them trying to hype up these celebrations last year, they were just incredibly disappointed. And so, with this disappointment of a celebration that didn't even get close to the bare minimum of the lowest expectations, many fans voiced their opinions online about this situation, and it's safe to say that 99% of them were not happy with what happened. Some considered that Universal would at least announce a new video game for Jurassic, as they recently shut down a free-to-play fan-made Jurassic Park game that many fans were eager about for over 2 years. This led us to assume that, since this was a free-to-play video game and created via an official PlayStation app called Dreams, where you get to create anything, that this was only shut down because an announcement of a new similar game is set for JP30. But nope, nothing happened whatsoever. However, this hasn't stopped the fans from taking matters into their own hands and creating their own Jurassic World. And to be honest, it's very much needed at this point in time, as yet again we're left in the dark about this franchise. I still can't believe it, I thought they would have learned by now. But thankfully, us Jurassic fans are actually quite talented in many ways, and if it wasn't for the fans, Jurassic would almost be buried by now. Tales of a Jurassic World is a perfect example of fans coming together to produce something that other fans really want to see. Tom Jurassic has been a great friend of mine for the past 5 years, and I'm sure that some of you may recognise him from a few vlogs on my channel. He's gone ahead and made an incredible audio drama that takes place around the same time of Battle at Big Rock and focused on the post-Fallen Kingdom era of Jurassic. Tom went ahead and told me that this project has been a huge labour of love, and from the very beginning, the goal has been to produce a high quality story set between Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World Dominion, which fans could immerse themselves within. And if you aren't quite sold on that just yet, here's a little segment from one of his favourite scenes in Season 1.
See? I was right. It's gone.
There was an intense rustling sound behind the building and a couple of dull impacts, and Morrison clutched his shoulders in a fetal position as he lay under the frame. He knew what was coming next.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Morrison heard a couple of gunshots and a low, intense roar. He could hear something clatter on the ground and footsteps running, getting closer to the building. Then, suddenly, he heard Ramirez scream. There was another loud roar and the man screamed more, and then the forest around them fell into silence again. Morrison took a moment to catch his breath, and then the radio he was carrying with him buzzed into life. He frantically turned down the volume and whispered into it.
Lucy, is that you?
Yeah, you okay?
As good as I can be. You?
I'm okay. Managed to grab the tranquilizer rifle when we left the pickup truck. Any sign of backup arriving?
Nothing yet. I'm worried if we don't do something, then this thing is gonna get away. It could hurt more people. You saw what it did to that SUV. Hell, we heard what it did to Ramirez.
Yeah, we need to stop it before it gets away.
Give me a few to think of a plan. This is gonna be dangerous. You sure you're up for this?
I've gotta be, Ben. It's a different world now.
Yeah, you could say that again. Give me 5. I'll see if I can peek outside, and we'll come up with a plan.
Morrison climbed up and peeked through one of the windows on the side of the cabin. He could see that beyond the cabins and closer to the tree line, there was a small wooden outhouse which was presumably some kind of toilet for the camp. The path between him and the toilet looked pretty clear. As he looked across the rest of the space between there and the cabin, he could make out a movement in the cabin across from him and spotted Lucy, signalling to her with a brief wave. He then looked at the stairs in front of the cabin where he could see a pool of blood next to a handgun which was lying on the floor, a couple of bullets on the ground next to it. As he looked past them and up deeper into the campsite, he was sure he could see a shadow moving between the next row of buildings, going back and forth between the buildings and the trees. He crept back down from the window, grabbing the radio.
Clearly whatever happened at the campsite has this thing riled up. It's not moving on. It's up between the buildings just past where we were, I think. I've got a plan, but you're not gonna like it. Ramirez's gun is out in front of the building. I'm going to fire it to get its attention and then sprint down to the toilet block with it following. As we go past, you trank this thing.
That's a death run.
We don't have a choice, Lucy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Morrison opened the door and it creaked as he crept out onto the landing beyond it. He crouched down and scooped up the handgun in his hand before he stepped down onto the grass beyond and turned to face the direction where he believed the Allosaurus was lurking. He could see shadows moving, and slowly he could see the full form of the Allosaurus emerging from the darkness and lunging towards him with great speed. He twisted around and began to sprint towards the toilet shack, the dinosaur behind him now letting out a grotesque roar as it attempted to catch up with him. His heart throbbed in his chest and he could feel his breathing increasing rapidly as he moved as fast as he could towards the building. He could feel the hot breath of the Allosaurus against his back and his neck, and he knew it was gaining on him as he attempted to desperately make the last few steps towards the building. Miraculously, he was able to push clean through the door and into the depths below, falling into a heap in a toilet cubicle as he twisted onto his back, looking through the doorway behind him. There was a temporary moment of reprieve as he caught his breath. Had the animal lost interest in him? Where had it gone? Those thoughts were pushed quickly out of his head as the Allosaurus came crashing through the roof of the shack with a roar, sending wooden splinters and other debris piling on top of him as he pushed his body into the floor as close as he could. He could smell the rancid breath coming from the animal's throat and could feel drool dripping onto him as it attempted to latch onto him with its large jaws. Mercifully, he was at an angle where he was just out of reach of the animal's grasp, but that wasn't stopping it from aggressively snapping its jaws at him as he lay there. He attempted to adjust his position as the animal let out another guttural roar. He clutched his shoulders tightly, praying for the moment to pass, when suddenly the animal's ferocity began to diminish. It rose out of the debris for a moment, stumbling slightly, and then turned, walking in an almost drunken manner back the way it had come before, and then it collapsed in a heap against one of the other wooden cabins, causing bits of the cabin to cave in around it as it slumped and its breathing shallowed.
Now, as far as I am aware, Season 1 has come to an end, and Season 2 will be coming very soon, and probably sometime this year. While I am aware that this is not exactly canon to the main timeline, it is still something that us fans can really enjoy, considering we're getting nothing official anytime soon by the looks of it. With Universal not willing to tease the fans or keep them engaged, it's nice to see that the fans at least, once again, are moving forward and making moves that interest one another to help bring the excitement of Jurassic back for people to enjoy. Tales of a Jurassic World is a start, and I'm sure that we'll hopefully see something more from the fans as we sadly get neglected in PR and fan engagement from Universal regarding Jurassic. I'm actually really impressed with what Tom and his team have been able to put together here in a fun and engaging Jurassic story. So please head on over to the official channels and feel free to subscribe to them and check out the entire first season for your enjoyment. If you're hungry for the next adventure in the Jurassic World universe, curious about what would happen to the dinosaurs that escaped Lockwood Manor, and if you are looking for the next deep dive into dinosaur encounters in the wild, then you definitely need to check out this fan-made audio drama. And should this video end up doing well, there's actually a few other fan-made projects that I would love to cover one day on the channel. So feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Check out Tales of a Jurassic World from a link in the description, and no, this video wasn't sponsored, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.